Hi guys, it's Katie. Today's video is going to be a second installment in my Ditch the Disposables series. The first video I talked about my reusable kitchen cloth items, things that I use in place of paper towels and paper napkins. Today I'm going to stay in the kitchen. I'm going to show you a few more reusable products and give you some tips and encouragement so that if you're looking to reduce the amount of disposable items that you use in your kitchen, hopefully I can give you some ideas. I'm not saying that there's not a time and a place for disposable items or that I never use them. I do use them, but whenever possible I reach for something reusable. It helps decrease my waste, it helps decrease my budget, and one of the biggest things is it's just reliable. You don't have to continuously replace something and always have it on your grocery list and always have to remember to buy another box of whatever. You just have it, it's there, you just wash it and reuse it. So that's one of my biggest reasons. I'm not here saying that I'm a better person than you or that I never use disposables. I'm just sharing some ideas with you because a lot of these things, some of them are common sense and everybody knows. Some of them are things that I never really thought of until I started critically thinking about all of the disposable products that I use. So when you reach for a disposable product, just think for a second and say, is there something else that I can use, something reusable that I can use? Is there a better way of doing this? And if the answer is no, the disposable product is better or I need the convenience for XYZ reasons, then by all means, use a disposable. But if you're looking to find a replaceable or a reusable replacement for those disposable products, I have some ideas for you. So one of the biggest impacts in my kitchen is we use very few Ziploc baggies and saran wrap and foil. So reusable food storage is one of the biggest ways that I decrease the packaging and the plastic that goes out of my house. So you guys know I love my plastic containers. I have these ones here. I have some kind of cheapier ones here. You can use plastic ones. I have some glass ones. I have big casserole dishes that have nice lids on them. Another favorite of mine for fruit storage is a mason jar. I think the mason jar is one of the examples of what you should be looking for in reusable food storage. It comes in uniform sizes. You can find it in many different sizes to fit your different needs. It comes with universal lids, so all of the different sizes of mason jars only have 2 sizes of lids, so you don't have to search around for a specific lid. You can just grab one of your several dozen wide mouth lids and it will fit all of your wide mouth jars. They're very durable, they hold up to a lot of abuse, and you can use them in a lot of different ways. So you can store liquid things in them, you can store dry goods in them, you can even vacuum seal dry goods in them for long-term storage, and certain mason jars you can freeze in, you can store things in your refrigerator. So look for something that's durable, something that has either universal lids or get a bunch of all of the same so you have several lids and several containers so you're not chronically searching and digging. When it comes to food storage containers, especially plastic containers like these and like these, I know how easy it is for them to completely overrun an entire cabinet in your kitchen and spill out everywhere when you open it. So just try to keep it very streamlined, figure out what you like, get a lot of what you like, what's really useful for you, and if you find that something's not useful for you, pass it on, donate it, give it to somebody else, send leftovers to somebody's house in them, and just use that space for things that you find more useful. So reusable food storage is a big one. Another big one in our house is regular plates. We don't use paper plates or paper bowls or plastic silverware. I use a real thing whenever possible. Now again, I don't say that I never use disposable products. If I were gonna have a bunch of people over to my house, like 10 or 15 people for a backyard barbecue, I would absolutely buy a pack of paper plates. But for pretty much everything else, we use the real deal. So even for quick breakfast, for snacks in front of the TV, if we're eating out on the deck, we're gonna use real plates whenever possible. When I pack my husband's lunch, he gets real silverware and a real napkin. And when we pack picnics, same thing. So you wanna find something that's durable, something that fits really well in your cabinet and in your lifestyle. So these Corelle dishes, I think, again, like the mason jars, these are a really great example. These plates are older than me. They've been around for 30, 35, maybe 40 years, I'm not exactly sure. And they see a lot of abuse. They go in the microwave, they go in the dishwasher, they can go even in the oven to a certain temperature. And I use them to not only eat off those, but I serve, some of my meals right on them. So they have a lot of uses. They're nice and thin and lightweight. They stack really nicely. So I have a lot of them because they work really well for me. I think I have like 14 or 15 of them, and they only take about that much space in my cabinet, and I can use them for so many things. So try whenever possible to use real plates, real silverware, things like that. If you reach for even just a paper towel to put something like a handful of pretzels, or you know, your toast in the morning, or if you have some kind of pastry or something like that for breakfast in the morning, you can use a cloth napkin for that as well. I do that all the time. Even when I take things in the car on the way out the door in the morning, if you know, I'm having a muffin or something, I'll put it in a cloth napkin, and then you can just dust out the crumbs and then put it in your purse and bring it home again. So just because it's easier to use a disposable product doesn't mean that it's harder to use a reusable product. So that's another tip. Another big way that we reduce a large amount of waste in our kitchen is we don't drink bottled water. If we are out, we pack water to go in water bottles like that, and then when we're home we just drink, you know, out of glasses and things like that. We do filter our tap water. A lot of bottled water is just filtered tap water anyway, so you know, our tap water is not that bad, and we have, again, I said I filtered it, so we just pack water to go. Or you could pack any beverage to go: tea, juice, coffee, hot beverages, cold beverages, whatever you like. And these water bottles, again, is something that can completely overrun your kitchen if you let it. So be smart, pick something durable. This is glass with a silicone sleeve. To be honest, the to-go cup that I use most often is a mason jar, and I usually take a quart because I drink a lot of water, but they have a 1.5 pint size that's very similar in size and shape to a regular drinking glass, and you can find reusable lids, some that turn them into like tumblers with a straw, and there's even one that kind of turns it into like a Starbucks cup or like a sippy coffee cup or something like that. Then you can put hot and cold beverages in mason jars. If you're using hot, the outside will get hot, so you can buy sleeves for them, or you can make sleeves. I actually have a crochet tutorial video on my channel for how to crochet a sleeve that goes on your mason jar, so if you're taking a hot beverage, you can take it to go. But we do that with hot and cold. I do have one hot here. My husband has most of the travel mugs at his work. But something where you can take your own with you to go, so you're not buying single serve bottles, you know, when you're out as often, or even buying cases of single serve bottles to drink. If you drink bottled water because you want spring water as opposed to like filtered municipal water, then consider getting a water cooler. The big jugs are reused, and so you don't have as much waste, and the cost for the water is a lot cheaper if you do it that way. So when I take my mason jar, I usually just take it out like this and stick it in my cup holder in my car, but you can also use these lids, and if I'm going to throw it in my bag or something, and it does a really good job of keeping the spills in control. Alright, so those were the 3 big ones. I don't use zipper bags, saran wrap, foil. I use reusable food storage containers as much as I can. The second big one is I don't use paper plates, paper bowls, styrofoam plates, anything like that. Whenever possible, I use the real thing. And then we don't buy bottled water, so we always take water with us to go, and we just drink filtered tap water at home. The next few things I have to show you are, again, those things that may or may not make that big of an impact. They're just kind of cool things that I never really thought about until I thought about them. The first one, which I think does make a pretty big impact because I like to bake and I cook, you know, quite a bit, is using a silicone brush like this. I got this at Target. I mean, I got this years ago, and it holds up really, really nicely. You can run it through the dishwasher. I use it for brushing barbecue sauce and egg wash and things like that. But one of the most useful things that I use this for is for spreading oil or butter or grease on casserole dishes, muffin tins, cake pans, things like that. So I never buy spray cooking oil. So that was one of the things that I was having trouble keeping up with. It seemed like every time I would reach for it, the bottle would be empty, and then I'd have to continuously replenish it. This way I can use the same oils and butters and fats and things that I already have, so I'm not storing an extra thing. I'm not having to remember to buy an extra thing. This is always there. I almost always have oil unless for some reason I run out. And this does a really good job. It keeps my hands clean. You can get a nice thin, even layer, and you can you know, get into all the nooks and crannies. And this is silicone. It doesn't say on this one, but these can hold up to a fair amount of heat. I think there's a certain limit, but even if you want to spray this onto like a skillet or a frying pan that's already hot, you can use this, whereas using something like a paper towel or just your hands might not work for that. But this is a really good item. Throw it in the dishwasher and you know, it cleans up really nicely. The next thing I have is reusable drinking straws. Now, if you don't use disposable drinking straws, then it may not help you that much to get reusable drinking straws. But I do use them quite a bit between smoothies and bubble tea, and when I'm driving and I have my water in a giant quart-sized mason jar, I don't want to have this giant thing in front of my face, you know, obscuring my vision. So I like to use straws when I'm driving. It's also nice when your toddler always wants to steal your drink and you have a quart of drink that's potentially going to spill all over the front of her. Having a straw is helpful. So I have some these stainless steel straws that I really like. I got these on Amazon. They have regular size ones, and then these ones are for like milkshakes or bubble tea. And these come with a brush so you can clean them. They also go right in the dishwasher. And I've had these for at least a year and they hold up really nicely. The other ones that I have are plastic ones. I got these at Target, and they're just replacements for those plastic straws that come with those insulated tumblers. So I think it was like a 4-pack, it was like $1.99 or something like that. And these are a pretty good diameter. So these are good for, you know, thin beverages like water, juice, tea, things like that, but also for smoothies and things like that. So reusable drinking straws. This is something that I just recently made. I filmed a tutorial, it should be up soon, but this is beeswax impregnated fabric, and this replaces saran wrap. So you can put it around food. I don't have any food to show you, but you can put, let's say this is a piece of food, you can put it like this and you wrap the cloth around, and when you hold it for just a few seconds, the heat from your hand will make it mold and kind of stick to itself. So if you have half of an onion or, you know, half of any kind of vegetable, you can wrap it in this, and because it's got the beeswax on it, it doesn't dry it out or anything like that. You can also use these on containers, so you can put whatever you're going to put in this. If this didn't have a lid or some reason you couldn't use a lid, then you just press it down, hold it for a few seconds so the heat of your hands sticks it down, then you have a cover. So like I said, this is something that would replace saran wrap or foil for kind of cold applications. It's not for everything. I just recently made these. I'm not sure how useful I will find them because I do by habit use containers with lids a lot, but it's another option. It's something that is something that would fold up really small. I will say one time that we do use plastic baggies in place of little containers for snacks on the go is if we're going hiking, because I don't want to have to carry as much bulk if we're going to be hiking for a while. So something like this, you can wrap up your sandwich or your snack, and then it folds down super small. So that's a good option. Okay, so that is everything that I brainstormed. If you have an idea of something that I didn't mention, I would love to have you share it down below so we can all learn from each other. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.